Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Got a new Cyber Dragon video for you guys today. So now for anybody that's new to my channel and hasn't seen the rest of this series, what this series is we are trying to make Cyber Dragon as competitive as possible because YCS Province Rhode Island is a hop, skip, and a jump away from me, and it's the same weekend that the new Cyber Dragon support comes out. So we've been trying different versions of Cyber Dragon to find which one works the best for me and my playstyle, along with, of course, advice from you guys to craft it so we can take it to YCS and try to do a little something. We've tried a bunch of different builds, and shout out to Osvaldo Moreno Rodriguez 7557 for requesting this, because today we're talking about Fiendsmith Cyber Dragons. Now, I know that sounds weird. You have a Fiend archetype and a Machine archetype. They are both lights, but how do they work together? How does the decks play together? We're going to talk about the Fiendsmith engine, we're going to talk about the Cyber Dragon engine, and we're going to show you guys the deck build and some gameplay that I recorded for you guys. If you guys enjoy this kind of content, drop a like on the video, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Let's jump in and let's talk about it. All right, guys, here is the build right now. I went bare bones with the Fiendsmith engine, put what I needed for the Cyber Dragon engine, and then went with a bunch of non-engine stuff. So the cool thing about the Fiendsmith engine that I really like is it's ridiculously small. The Fiendsmith engine is a self-contained engine that can run on its own. It has 4 starters built into it, and technically, I mean, if you don't need your normal summon, it can have 5 with what we have here. But what we've got is 3 Fiendsmith Engravers, 1 Lacrima the Crimson Tears, 1 Fabled Lurrie, 1 Fiendsmith Tract. Fuck this card. The only reason I'm saying that is because this card's like $100 right now. Then we've got, in the extra deck, we've got Fiendsmith Requiem, Fiendsmith Sequence, and Fiendsmith's Desiree? Is that supposed to be Desire or Desiree? Regardless, let's talk about them, what they do real quick, and why this engine works so well. If you guys already know the Fiendsmith engine, skip a little bit ahead. So, Fiendsmith Engraver. You can discard this card, add 1 Fiendsmith Smeller Trap card from your deck to your hand. You can target 1 Fiendsmith Equip card you control and 1 monster on the field. Send them to the graveyard. If this card is in your graveyard, you can shuffle 1 other Light Fiend monster into your graveyard, into the deck or extra deck, special summon this card. You can only use each effect of Fiendsmith Engraver once per turn. So basically, you ditch Fiendsmith Engraver and you're going to search Tract. The other effects of Fiendsmith Engraver are both fire, because 1 can help you, kind of break boards. You can target 1 Fiendsmith Equip card you control and another monster in the field, send them both to the graveyard, because you can summon this out and equip it with Fiendsmith's Requiem with its effect, and then just pop a monster. Boom, easy. And it sends, it doesn't destroy. And it doesn't target, which, oh wait. You can target 1 Fiendsmith Equip card and you control, okay, it does target. And the third effect, you can shuffle 1 Light Fiend monster from your graveyard into the deck to just special summon him. He's just a free body, so he's really, really easy to use. Lacrima the Crimson Tears. This card is pretty dope too. It's always treated as a Fiendsmith card. If this card is normal summoned or special summoned, you can send 1 Fiendsmith card from your deck to your graveyard, except Lacrima of the Crimson Tears during your opponent's turn. If this card is in your graveyard, quick effect, you can target 1 Fiendsmith Link monster in your graveyard, shuffle this card into the deck, and if you do special summon that monster, you can only use each effect of Lacrima of the Crimson Tears once per turn. So, opponent's end phase, send Lacrima of the Crimson Tears back to deck, summon back Requiem, your turn, Requiem to summon Crimson Tears. It's silly. And then Fabled Lurrie is just a free body. If this card is discarded, special summon it, because what you do with Tract is add 1 Light Fiend monster from your deck to your hand, then discard 1 card. You can banish this card from the graveyard, fusion summon 1 Fiendsmith Fusion monster from the extra deck, using monsters on your hand. We don't really use that second effect, but it is there if we need to. But basically, like say Sequence gets impermed, you can still use Tract to do the same thing. But basically, you're gonna discard Engraver, add Tract, add Lurrie, discard Lurrie, go into the rest of the combo. Because Requiem is a Link 1 Light Fiend monster. Special summon Fiendsmith. You can only special summon Fiendsmith Requiem once per turn. During the main phase, quick effect, you contribute this card, special summon 1 Fiendsmith monster from your hand or deck, and then you can target 1 light non-fiend monster you control, equipped it with this card from your field or graveyard to the monster. The monster equipped with this card gains 600 attack. You can only use this effect of Fiendsmith Requiem once per turn. Then we have Sequence, which is kind of like the last card we want to get on. It's 2 monsters, including a Light Fiend, so it can be any 2 monsters, so it can be any Light Fiend plus any of the monsters in our deck. So if we have an extra body, we could just make this thing. During your main phase, you can fusion summon one Fiend Fusion monster from your extra deck by shuffling its materials from your graveyard into the deck. Then target one light non-link Fiend monster you control. Equip it with this card from the field or the graveyard to that monster you control as an equipped spell with the following effect. Your opponent cannot target the equipped monster with card effects. And the monster we want to equip to is Desiree, which is usually what we want to end on. It requires Fiendsmith Engraver and 2 light Fiend monsters. Quick effect, you can negate the effects of number of face-up cards on the field up to the total link rating of link monsters equipped with this card. So we're normally going to have Sequence equipped to it, but we can also have Requiem, so you can negate 2 cards up to 3. It doesn't target. The only downside is that it has to be cards face up on the board. But that includes trap cards, spell cards, monster cards, it don't matter. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you could shuffle one other light Fiend monster from your graveyard into the deck or extra deck, then target one card in the field, send it to the graveyard. So we have some nice removal into the package as well. Now, you can see we had to make some space in the extra deck, we had to make some space in the main deck, but now I'm going to show you guys real quick section of the video how the 2 combos end up going together. But the big thing about Fiendsmith and what we're actually using it for, you guys need to keep this in mind. It is a hand trap and negate bait. That is all we are using it for. If we get the combo off, it's great. It's nice. It has great recursion on its own too. But the big thing is to bait out negates, because with Cyber Dragon, its power now, we only need 1 card to resolve to get our full combo. We can get a full combo with OTK, with the full board setup with either Core, Emergency, Cyberdark Realm, or Cyberdark Claw. Those are our 12 starters. And if we get to our opponent to waste their hand traps on the Fiendsmith engine, and our Cyber engine can go completely, unopposed, we're going to have a great board setup regardless. Or we're going to OTK. So check this out. All right. So here is our 2 main combos. Again, it's just these 2 cards. The rest of our hand can be whatever, but they're both 1 card full combos. So you can start the combo with either Fiendsmith Engraver or Tract and get the full Fiendsmith combo. So in this case, we're ditching Engraver, we're searching Tract. Now we're playing Tract. Now we're going to add Lurrie from the deck to the hand. Then we're going to discard Lurrie. Because we discard Lurrie, it special summons itself. We link it into Fiendsmith Requiem. Requiem's effect, we tribute it, summon a Fiendsmith from the deck, summon Lacrima. Lacrima's effect, dump another Fiendsmith or dumping another Engraver. The reason we want to do this, we definitely don't even need to do this. We're doing it because we want to have an Engraver engrave if we can. We don't need to, but it's nice to have. But now we're going to use Engraver's effect. Engraver's going to send the Lurrie back to deck, summon itself from the grave, and then we make the link too. So now we go into Sequence effect, we fuse back. We're going to fuse back Lacrima, Requiem, and one of the Engravers, leaving us 1 Engraver engrave. So that gives us follow-up if we need it, because we can special summon it back out, equip it with Requiem, and then pop a card if we need to. Boom, boom, boom. Boom. And remember, the cost to summon back Engraver is just to return a Fiend monster. So if they kills off Desiree, we have the Fiend engrave. We could just send Desiree back to the deck, summon out Engraver, equip Engraver, and then use Engraver's effect to pop something. So now, after we summon Desiree, we equip it with Sequence using Sequence's effect. Now it can't be targeted, and now it has 2 on-field negates. And then we can go right into our normal Cyber Dragon combo. Cyber Dragon for Cyberdark Realm, Cyberdark Realm for Cyberdark Chimera. I tried to speed this up, my bad. But Realm to summon Chimera, Chimera link away. This in my previous videos, I didn't realize how important this was. Linking away the Chimera for Clockwork Knight, because you can chain block here. You can either say you need the spell card in hand to discard for Chimera. You can chain link Clockwork Knight as chainlink 1, Chimera as chainlink 2, like say you already have Cyberdark Wurm in hand, or if you want to make sure you get the dump with Cyberdark Wurm and say you have another spell card in hand that you don't really care about the Clockwork Knight, you can use Cyberdark Chimera as chainlink 1 with Clockwork Knight as chainlink 2, which is what we do here. Now again, this is just a quick tutorial showing you that these combos do not interrupt each other at all. The only luck we really have is if we use Cyber Jormungandr or if we use Cyber Dragon Nachster. Those are the only 2 cards that lock us into machines. Other than those 2 cards, we can play whatever the fuck we want. Excuse my language. So now we're using Clockwork Knight's effect. Tribute the core, summon Chimera. Chimera gets us Power Bond. Now we summon Wurm, dumping Herz. Summon Wurm. Add back Cyberdark Realm. Herz effect to get OG Cyber Dragon. The thing that's cool about the Fiendsmith engine, I know I'm pausing it in the middle of the tutorial, it can play really well under Droll because Droll straight kills Cyber Dragon every time. The only problem with the engine is that it makes us weaker to Nib. Whereas we can get out Therion King Regulus pretty early to protect us from Nib, we can't do that with the Fiendsmith engine because the Fiendsmith engine by itself is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 summons in itself before we even get into the Cyber Dragon combo. So I'm still trying to figure out a good way to deal with Nib. So my bad on that, guys. I know Nib is really pretty popular right now, but yeah, we use Clockwork Knight, ditch OG Cyber Dragon for Therion King Regulus, summon Therion King Regulus, equipping OG Cyber Dragon, link Chimera and Clockwork Knight into SP Little Knight, Power Bond into Rampage, using the Herz and the core from the grave. Then we use Rampage's effect, dumping Nachster and Jormungandr. Overlay into Nova. Nova effect to summon back Nachster. Nachster to summon back Jormungandr. This is the part of the combo I came up with. Overlay into Infinity. And then Jormungandr bouncing back the OG Cyber Dragon that we have equipped to get Fusion Substitute. And then Fusion Substitute. Fusing together Jormungandr and Nachster into Heos Farog, the Mechanical Dawn. Use its effect to get Power Bond back on your opponent's standby phase, and then finish off Fusion Substitute, banishing it, returning Chimera Tech Rampage Dragon to the extra deck for later use, and drawing an extra card. So we would end with 7 cards in hand. So that's not even counting like traps, hand traps. We also play, you know, the tactics package. So that's all stuff to think about. Now let's actually go into some actual gameplay. So gameplay here. Real quick, I had a really negative message on my last video. A lot of you had a great amount of support, but one person basically talked about how all I really showed was us comboing off and how we can lock our opponent down, which I needed to. You know, you needed to see what the deck can do if it's actually able to do what it's supposed to do. Because it can, with the full, you know, window combo, you can basically lock any deck out of being able to play the game. But they wanted to see us actually break boards with the deck, which is what we're going to do with Fiendsmith. But we have a couple games of us going first, a couple games of us going second and breaking through, you know, hand traps and whatnot. So you guys will have some pretty good entertainment stuff here. Right now, this is us up against Sky Strikers, and we went second, so they get to get a whole board set up here. So they summon Ray, link Ray away for one of the new Sky Striker cards. They get a search. I don't think I know this card. I think it's a new spell card, but it gets him another search. Oh, that was Engage. Okay, I know Engage. They played double Engage. They're trying to fill up their grave with spell cards. I forgot Engage got a new card art, and I think that was Linkage they just grabbed. Yep, and then they play it. Linking their monster into Kagari. Kagari, the fact they get one back from the grave, right? Yep, they get Engage back from the grave. At this point, they already have 3 spell cards in grave. So now this Engage is going to be a +1. Engage not being once per turn is crazy, especially because they can recycle it. Now they grab multi-roll, and now they also get to draw a card because now they have 3 spells in the grave. Oh, they didn't. Oh, I think you have to have 3 spells in grave when you activate it. My bad. So now they use multi-roll. They do something cool here that I actually thought was pretty interesting. So they link. That was Shizune, right? Now they go to end phase. They activate Shizune's skill to dump a card. Oh no, I forgot they add a card at the end of the turn. So they added Widow Anchor. Then they use Widow Anchor on their own card, even though they already used the effect, to then trigger multi-roll so they can set more cards. So now they're just going to straight up set the Widow Anchor, which is a great way to get Widow Anchor involved, considering they weren't able to search it until the end of their turn. So now we go. Now historically, I don't know about you guys, but I've always thought that Sky Striker has a horrible matchup against Cyber Dragon. there's very few times I've lost to a Sky Striker deck with the Cyber Dragon, because we have Contact Fusion, which dodges effects like Ray, and because we have back row destruction. But watch how we break through this board, because it's not just the 2 cards he has set. He also has a spoiler alert, he has a bunch of hand traps. So I was very proud of this. I should not have done this because I kind of revealed what I was playing ahead of time. So we end up ditching Cyberdark Claw, which I shouldn't have done. I should have waited till he burned out his hand traps first. We grab Realm. We already have OTK in hand, but now we have to bait out his negates. I should have went into my Fiendsmith engine, but I also want to do this before I actually started summoning cards. So now we summon Cyber Dragon. So I did a little custom, make it a little shorter. So we special summon Cyber Dragon, and then we contact fuse with his monster immediately. It didn't matter if he tried to Widow Anchor Cyber Dragon. We would have just contact fused from his side of the board. But we're getting rid of his monsters, so this way he can't use Ray. Now that we have a machine monster engraved that we don't need, we can use the Therion King in our hand. So now we're going to equip OG Cyber Dragon to then now have a negate out as well. So us summoning Cyber Dragon and contact fusing it away just fueled us to get out Therion King Regulus. See, at this point, I feel like I should have started my Fiendsmith combo, but I'm okay with it. Like I said, none of these cards clash, so you can technically go in whatever order you want. In this case, we use Realm, we grab Chimera. But I know he has Widow Anchor face down, so I'm expecting him to Widow Anchor the Chimera. So, should I have stopped at this point? What would you guys have done in this situation? From here, I normal summon Chimera. Bang. As you can see, even with me speeding up the footage, I kind of hesitated. But now we're going to use Clockwork Knight and Chimera. And this is where we start seeing, you know, those interactions. Because now they hit us with Ghost Mortar and Moonlit Chill. This might sound suspect here, but I negate this because it wouldn't just stop me from getting the Clockwork Knight, which I don't need, but it would have stopped me from being able to use Clockwork Knight's second effect. For anybody that doesn't remember, Clockwork Knight has a second effect where you contribute a monster to summon a machine monster with 1,000 or less attack from the grave, which we were going to use to get back Chimera. So we negate that, we get our Clockwork Knight. Wurm. Dump Wurm with Chimera, activate Wurm's effect. We send Herz for cost. We get Ghost Mortar, so we don't get Wurm out, so, you know, things are already looking kind of eh. We do have a Thrust in hand, and he did activate monster effects, so we're still okay. Herz activates, gets us back a monster. Obviously, we only get back Cyber Dragon here. Wurm is a once per duel skill, which I still think is awful, but it does nothing now. And now we go into our Fiendsmith engine. Which is funny because technically my Fiendsmith engine is blocked right now because of Clockwork Knight the monster, because it's a link monster that's only pointed to the left. But all of the Fiendsmith link monsters don't need much. They can just operate on their own. So like Sequence is a light fiend monster and any other monster, so we could then link with the Clockwork Knight. We just need a body. So now we get Lurrie, ditch Lurrie, Lurrie effect special summon. I don't think we've done our normal summon for turn either. That's the crazy part. I don't know this card. Let me read this card real quick. Target an equal number of Sky Striker Ace monsters and Sky Striker spell cards in your graveyard. Shuffle them into the deck. Then you could return to the hand one card on the field for every 3 cards shuffled. That seems annoying. If the Sky Striker monster is special summoned to your field while this card is in your graveyard, you can banish this card immediately after the resolve. Link summon one. That's cool. So that's a good card. But we haven't done our normal summon yet with everything that we've done already. Remember, we get an extra normal summon because of Realm. That's what we use to summon Chimera. Don't worry, this is the longest game. The rest of the games are a lot shorter. But see, now they Widow Anchor us. I was a little surprised on what they decided to Widow Anchor here. By taking our Clockwork Knight, they actually open up the field for us. So I thought that was kind of weird that they did that. But I'm like, I bet. So he sends back a bunch of monsters, returns Lurrie to our hand. I'm like, damn, all right. I guess I gotta go in. So we end up using the Thrust. Now, Cyber Dragons plays a lot of normal spell cards. So instead of getting something like Talents, we're like, you know what? Let's add Cyber Emergency, which we can then activate. Now, I'm not playing Repair Plant. Otherwise, I probably would have went Core with Repair Plant. But since we're not playing Repair Plant, I went straight into Nachster. So this is another cool thing that we can do. I don't do it here, but it's just nice that we have the option. So we have a searchable discard option for Lurrie with Nachster. It almost makes me want to play Droplets too. But we can discard Lurrie, summon Nachster, and then if we don't use Nachster's effect, we can use Lurrie to summon itself. Lurrie has to be Chainlink 1 because it's mandatory. So that's the reason this came out the way it did. Otherwise, we would Chainlink it with Nachster first, Lurrie second, so Lurrie can summon itself. But once we use Nachster, we're locked into machines. But the reason I was using Nachster was to get Chimera back, because we haven't used Chimera's effect this turn. I also could have normal summoned the Nachster. But now we discard a spell card. Boom, we get Power Bond. He has one card in hand, no cards on board. The game's already looking like it's ours. And remember, we played through what? 4 interruptions to do this? We fuse together the Cyber Dragon and the Nachster. We get to pop a back row, so we pop multi-roll. And then, of course, ditch a bunch of light machines to then put our opponent to sleep. And just to add salt to the wound, Clockwork Knight as well for an extra 500 attack points. And then we just swing. And then that's the game. So that's the first game. And like I said, you got to see us break a board through a bunch of interruptions. Now we'll go on to the second game. So this one, all right. So the reason the first game took so long is because I didn't know how the replay function of EDO Pro worked. I figured it out after this, and I also like the fact that it can show you what my opponent has as well, which does come into play later. Not so much in this game, but I want to show you what happens when we do get interrupted on this game. So our opponent, we're going first, but our opponent only has one hand trap. And watch how easily this plays through a hand trap. So we again made the same misplay we made in the first game, where we're bounded too far back, where we played, you know, we kind of revealed our hand early by playing the Cyber Emergency. We should have started with Engraver, because we have nothing that's restricted by monsters, by like how many monsters we have on field. But by playing the Emergency, I show that I'm playing Cyber Dragons. But Engraver gets Tract, Tract grabs Lurrie, ditch Lurrie, Lurrie special summons itself, link into Requiem, Requiem tributes itself, summons Lacrima, Lacrima dumps another. Look, Lacrima was going to dump another Engraver, but they decided to use the Imperm here, which was a bad move. But it's okay. We already have Engraver engraved, so now we use Engraver's Grave effect, send back Lurrie, summon Engraver, link into sequence effect, send all 3 monsters back, summon into Desiree, and then attach sequence to Desiree. So even though we don't have an Engraver engraved, we still have the full combo, so we still have the on-field negate. And now we go into our Cyber Dragon package. Cyber Dragon, and this is the same combo that we saw at the beginning of the game, the beginning of the video, sorry. Core into Realm, Realm into Chimera, Chimera, extra normal summon for Chimera, link into Clockwork Knight. I didn't go for the little combo where you can chain block, which maybe I should have, mostly because I wasn't sure if my opponent had Nib, though I should have seen the triggers there. But it was just another way to do it. You can tribute the core, keep Chimera on the board, and then link into with Chimera later. But then after we search the power bomb, we end up linking into SP Little Knight, which sends Chimera to Grave, which dumps Wurm. Wurm dumps Herz, summons Wurm, grabs a Cyber Dragon. It's all happening so fast because you guys have seen this combo already. Now we attach OG Cyber Dragon, which is for the Diffusion Substitute play. Dump the materials. At this point, our opponent already quit, which we would have detached, summoned Nachster to summon Jormungandr, Jormungandr to bounce OG Cyber back to hand, overlay into Infinity, and then fuse into Heal Farog. And then lastly, we would have used Fusion Substitute to draw an extra card. We already have Overflow in hand, and who knows what else we would have drawn. We would have got Power Bomb back to finish our opponent on the following turn. Now, this was another one where we went second, and this one is a big deal. And this one I wanted to make sure I shared with you guys because this is us versus Maliss Labyrinth. And I'm not going to lie to you, I had no idea what the fuck was going on in this game. This was my first time actually playing against Maliss, and obviously we have a pretty good hand as far as hand traps go. Droll is ridiculously powerful, and we have an imperm. But I don't know what to hit in Maliss. I'm sure someone could have taken what I had and done even better with it than I did. Give me advice on Maliss, and I'll tell you right now, I've played against Raziel one time and got thrashed, but again, I don't know the decks yet. I'm still studying. I think that's what I'm going to work on before our next week, is really studying these heavy hitter decks. I got some advice from a friend of mine on Maliss, but I need to know some more stuff about Raziel. Anyway, let's go. So they summon Chessy Cat. Chessy Cat lets them draw 2. Obviously, we follow up with Droll and Lockbird. I didn't realize that when these motherfuckers get banished, they just summon themselves. It felt like I was playing against Florendaries. It was pissing me off. So the link 2, banish 1, which then again lets it summon itself back. Link it to another monster. We imperm this one. I wasn't sure what this thing did. I think it let them get another card, so I wanted to imperm it. They respond with that to get the furniture monster. They responded with the furniture monster to set a spell or trap card, to set a labyrinth trap card. Now, I don't know what the trap card does yet. Not gonna lie to you. You guys tell me if I hit the right card here. And they just go absolutely in. So we're looking at 3 face downs, 3 monsters. I don't have the deck knowledge, and if you look at our hand's not great. Cyber Emergency and Cyberdark Realm are both live, but the second emergency is not. But then we top deck into Engraver. So we activate Engraver, getting us into our Fiendsmith engine, and they chain a bunch of trap cards together. And they just gain a bunch of life back. And then we just go. They end up going to banish the Engraver. Thankfully, that doesn't really hurt me too much. They destroy 1 card in my hand. They hit one of the emergencies. It's fine. We go with Tract. Tract effect, add Lurrie. They're chaining a bunch of stuff together. I'm not lying to you. I have no idea what they're doing. We use Requiem. They hit us with Impulse. I know that card. You know, Impulse stops an effect that would summon. So now we're down to 2 cards. I'm still staring down a massive board, but a lot of these cards were set this turn, so they don't have very many interactions left. So now we emergency, grab core effect. We already have Realm, that's why we didn't search Realm, obviously. Play the Realm, get Chimera. Notice how we're going a lot faster because they have no interactions left. And now we go into full Cyber Dragon combo. We end up discarding Overflow for Power Bond just to get it out the way, so that way they don't end up like stopping Chimera later. And we don't need the Overflow. We're going second, we're going for OTK. But guess what? I was a little confused here, but I ended up figuring out why later. Obviously, we played Clockwork Knight. I couldn't contact fuse, and I didn't know why. So for anybody that doesn't know why I can't contact fuse here, basically because we activated Chimera's effect, until we do a fusion summon with a fusion card, we can't contact fuse. I didn't know this. Because the next time we would go to summon a fusion monster, we have to use, you know, the areas that it wants me to, so I can't contact fuse. And that was scary, because I'm like, what did they do to stop me from contact fusing? So I just go continue my Cyber Dragon combo. Now we can contact fuse. We end up fusing 3 monsters to pop their entire back row. We use Chimera's effect, and our opponent surrenders here. So we not only popped their entire board, we can attack 3 times, and we're able to contact fuse now because we used Chimera's effect up. So we were going to win that turn regardless. So I want to show you guys, I beat Maliss. Moving on. So this last game is one more game of us going first. And this time we were up against Runick, but I make a major misplay. I fuck my own combo. We end up opening both engines. We go off. Fiendsmith engine, fine. It damn near plays itself. Super easy. We even have the second engraver engraved to set up. Easy. Super clean. I mess up my goddamn Cyber Dragon combo. It's like a 15-20 step combo, so it's not surprising that I messed it up. This right here is also a reason I've wanted to play Cybernetic Horizon. It's because I already have Realm and I have a Claw. I ditched the Claw to search a Realm. Now I have 2 Realms. I only need 1. So sometimes I think I should run Horizon, but we're still trying to limit on deck space here. Sorry, I'm going off on a tangent. So we go Core, grab Overflow because we're going first. Realm for Chimera. Oh, same Cyber Dragon combo. So I was trying to get negates on board as fast as possible, and because of that I threw myself off. Obviously we have the Cyber Dragon, we have Chimera, we use Chimera, ditch Clockwork Knight for Power Bond, Clockwork Knight, ditch Cyber Dragon for Therion King Regulus, summon Rampage, go into SP Little Knight. Here's where I messed up, because I went to summon Therion King Regulus to have a negate on board a little bit faster. I forgot to use Rampage's effect to dump 2. And I overlay into Nova and immediately froze because I'm like, oh my god, I forgot the Nachster part of the combo, which means I don't get heals for Rog, and it means I don't get Power Bond back for the following turn. I was pissed at myself. I should have at least 2 more cards in hand, or 1 more card in hand with another add back on the next turn. I just set 1 and pass, and hope my opponent doesn't. I was hoping that 1 spell negate doesn't make me lose. So they start off by popping my back row. It's fine, we get a search. So now we have Cyberload Fusion for next turn. We use Desiree on the Foolish Burial. I didn't know what... I haven't played against Runick very much, so I was like, what is he trying to dump with Foolish Burial that could help him? So that's why I negated it with Desiree. They summon the Fusion Monster. I negate this with Regulus, so they don't get their field spell. They try to go into Titan. They should have attacked with Typhon. I said Titan. They should have attacked with Typhon and then used the effect, because they could have ran over Infinity and then like pop something else. But because they immediately tried to use the effect, Infinity just negated and destroyed it. Then they just use Runick Tip. They get their field spell. They play their field spell. They play Curses. They negate SP Little Knight's effect. I remove SP Little Knight and Desiree. I realized after that this was a bad play, because what did negating Desiree really do? Nothing really to hurt me. I mean, not negating Desiree, negating SP Little Knight there. I should have left it, because then they still have to get over the rest of my monsters. So that was a misplay, but they drew 3 cards, drew into 1 Runick card, and couldn't continue the game, and they surrendered. But look at our hand. We had enough to be able to push through on our following turn. We actually could have Cyberload Fusion fused half of the stuff that's banished back into the deck. So we were able to keep playing. All right, guys. Here's one more look at the deck. You got to see us play through a bunch of interruptions. You got to see us playing going first and second. Let me know your thoughts on what you think of the Fiendsmith engine with Cyber Dragon. Again, it's not meant to be super cohesive. It doesn't need that much synergy. Both engines work on their own. It's literally meant to be a hand trap bait, a negate bait, and if for whatever reason it doesn't get negated and we still get it out, it's an additional negate for us to have along with our ed board. That gives us 5 interruptions while still having 4 to 5 cards in hand. It feels really, really nice, and honestly, the engine just looks cool. Engraver is kind of cheap right now because of Core Century Stampede. Tract is not. Tract is expensive. Tract and Requiem are the 2 most expensive cards. The rest of the engine is pretty cheap. So pick it up while you can, if you decide you want to run it. Let me know if you guys think I should change anything. Let me know if you think I should add it. Some people will tell me to run some of the other cards that go with the Fiendsmith engine. I just need to know why. Give me a reason and maybe I'll try it out. Side deck is still subject to change. Still haven't settled on anything, but I would like your guys' ideas for what to start siding, because I definitely need to start experimenting with my side deck, because we only got a few weeks left until the YCS. But guys, I hope you enjoyed the video again. If you guys want to check me out on social media, those links are down below. If you guys want to see the deck list written out, I will have that added in the description, as that was requested of me as well. That is going to be it from me, guys, and I'll catch you on the next video. Later.
Seeing in my eyes, I was born for this. I got demons on my side, you ain't high like this. I got reason to believe, found meaning from my gifts. Only I can change the world, let it go like this.